Hi friends, it's Miss Jessica with Virtual Preschool Story Time. Today's story is Charlie Anderson. What do you think our story will be about? If you said a kitten, you are right. It's about two little girls and the story of their kitten. Charlie Anderson. Charlie Anderson. One cold night, a cat walked out of the woods, up the steps, across the deck, and into the house where Elizabeth and Sarah lived. You can tell it's fall because there's a pumpkin out here, and in the fall it starts to get cooler. He curled up next to their fireplace to get warm. He watched the 6 o'clock news on TV. He tasted their dinner. He tried out their beds. He sounds a little like Goldilocks. He decided to stay, and the girls named him Charlie. Every morning, Charlie disappeared into the woods again. They disappeared. Yeah, that means he went away and they couldn't find him. At night, when he came home, Elizabeth brushed him clean, fed him dinner, and made a space for him at the end of her bed. He liked Elizabeth's bed the best. Sometimes she would wake up in the middle of the night and hear him purring in the dark. When cats are purring, that means they are very happy. Sarah called him baby and dressed him up in doll clothes. When it snowed, Elizabeth and Sarah's mother heated Charlie's milk before he left for the woods. He grew fatter and fatter, and every day he purred louder and louder. On weekends, the girls stayed with their father and stepmother in the city. They wanted to bring Charlie with them, but their mother said he'd miss the woods. Charlie's a country cat, she told them. One stormy night, Charlie didn't come home. Elizabeth and Sarah stayed out on the deck and called his name, but no Charlie. Why wouldn't he come out of the woods? Was he all right? How do you think the girls are feeling? I bet they are very worried or scared about where their cat is. All night long, Elizabeth listened to the rain beating on the roof and the wind rattling the windows. Was he cold? Was he hurt? Where was Charlie? In the morning, Elizabeth and Sarah looked for him. They asked the lady down the road if she'd seen their cat. She said no and offered them cookies, but they were too worried to eat cookies, even if they were chocolate chip. They went to the new house of the other side of the woods. "Have you seen our cat?" they asked. "His name is Charlie, and he's very fat and has gray striped fur." "We have a cat with gray striped fur. Look, see coming down the steps," said the man, "but his name's not Charlie. His name is Anderson. He's upstairs, asleep in our bed." They heard a meow, and down the stairs came a very fat cat with gray striped fur. "Charlie!" Sarah and Elizabeth cried. "No, that's Anderson," said the woman. "We've had him for 7 years. Right, Anderson?" He looked at her and began to purr. "But it's Charlie," Sarah said. He looked at her and purred louder. Is he ever here at night? Elizabeth asked. Anderson is a hunter, said the man. He prowls the woods at night. Charlie sleeps in my bed at night, she said. He leaves for the woods after breakfast. Anderson comes home at breakfast time, said the woman. He leaves right after dinner. They all looked at the cat. He sat at their feet, very happy and very fat. They call him Charlie Anderson now. So it looks like Charlie Anderson has two different homes. He lives during the day with the man and the woman, but he lives at night with Elizabeth and what's her sister's name? Sarah. Sorry. Sometimes in bed at night, Elizabeth asks him, "Who do you love best, Charlie Anderson?" And she can hear him purring in the dark. Just like Elizabeth and Sarah have two houses, Charlie has two houses, two beds, two families who love him. He's a very lucky cat. Charlie Anderson. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon, boys and girls.